Hey, hello and welcome to a new show called Trapped in the Sound Hole. My name is Jack Schuyler. This is all news, popular music, but for people who don't give enough of a shit to buy a copy of the Rolling Stone. Alright, let's get started. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2021 was recently announced. Some of the notable inductees include the Foo Fighters, the Go-Go's, I guess rock and roll does love its alliteration, as well as Jay-Z, a rapper. Jay-Z is a rapper in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Who'da thunk it? The Hall actually declared the class of 21 as the most diverse list in the history of the organization. They mentioned great strides among women and people of color in music, and that's great. That should be celebrated. But now, even though the name implies only rock performers, at this point they're just so worried about not getting canceled, their founding philosophy might be better off as, "Come on in, everybody!" Hip-hop, singer-songwriter, folk, 80s new wave, sure thing. It's close enough. Can all the genres that have their own individual halls please join together and link end-to-end human centipede style into a singular music hall of fame at this point? Because everyone's in denial that that's what it should be. Why does rock and roll have to get all the glory, huh? No, just a singular, giant hall. And if it runs out of space, just make it longer. Or, better yet, construct a music building of fame. That way, the family of halls can each live in harmony. Although the Polka Hall of Fame might get a little pissed off if you put them on the 28th floor with no elevator. Listen, I fully respect the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should they continue to embrace this progressive pansexual acceptance policy. And I understand that rock and roll is more of a spirit or a mentality than a rigid musical genre. It just seems unfair to all the artists that created legacies in different fields to be given something completely separate than what they've spent their lives working towards. There's a reason the Arby's slogan isn't "We have the meats," but also some vegetarian options if you're interested. You know, you'd be concerned if Chick-fil-A gave you a steak, right? You'd have to change the name of the whole restaurant to Filet Mignon, but that's besides the point. Congratulations to all the new inductees. Now in other news, Post Malone launched a new sweepstakes last week with Monster Energy. The winner gets a heavily used pair of DC high tops. That's not true, of course. I'm kidding. In reality, the 10 winners will receive their own personal Zoom call with Mr. Post, while the 15 runner-ups get their own Xbox, and everybody else who enters the sweepstakes will receive their own official antisocial social club hoodie, one that Malone has actually redesigned to instead say anti-postal postal club, and has some interesting adaptations of federal graphics on the front side. Hell, Monster Energy should probably get the other Malone on board too. If you're interested in entering, the deal is available until August 31st, and you can put in your submission by going to your nearest available vapor and e-liquid store and asking for a guy named Hayden. "Hi, my name is Hayden. What flavor clouds you blowing today, pal?" And by the way, that's Hayden as in hard on. But why? Lollapalooza is set to return at full capacity July 29th through the 1st of August, so woohoo to live music again. I don't really have a joke for that headline other than the fact that Lollapalooza is the third most fun thing to say in the voice of Carl Wheezer. "Hey, you want to go to Lollapalooza this weekend?" Who are you going to go see, Carl? Who's headlining this year? "Let's go see Weezer. I want to check out the Weezer concert." "Beverly Hills! That's where..." By the way, that makes the second most fun thing to say in that voice being llamas, and the most fun thing to say being "Hi, Jimmy's mom." Olivia Rodrigo released a new single last week titled "Good For You." The phrase was always stuck in her head after so many people said it to her in response to her other song. "We get it, you learned how to drive, oh good for you." I just hope she doesn't leave her life too out in the open, you know, being young and famous. It'd be terrible waking up one day and hearing on the radio, hey, WKLM, it's Olivia Rodrigo's 21st birthday, and she released a new song as well as 29 Instagram stories at 4 in the morning last night. I tried my first vodka spritzer. barfed it up and then passed out. Ariana Grande got married this weekend to Dalton Gomez. Their wedding took place in Staten Island, New York. Was this a wedding out of pity? I'm not really sure what's going on here. Once again, not true. It actually took place at her home in Montecito, California. And after some quick online research, I found out that Montecito is actually a direct Spanish translation of the common English phrase, "Who the hell is this Dalton Gomez guy?" I looked it up. Turns out he's apparently a real estate agent. And this article doesn't go into full detail about how the two met, but from what I'm seeing, my guess, she bought a house from him, and that allowed him to step inside, and that really moved the relationship forward. Alrighty, looking at the charts this week, I hope you're rich and have a lot of sex, because it's Leave the Door Open at the #1 spot of the Hot 100, made by the collaboration between Bruno Mars and Anderson Period Pack, Silk Sonic, which conveniently also happens to be the name of the highest grossing animated adult film of all time. There's also a new addition to the top 10, J. Cole's at number 8. That's how he spelled it. I don't know why. I guess the 13 to 17-year-old female demographic hasn't been targeted heavily enough. Look out, Tumblr. J. Cole's out to snatch the emotional depth out of your typographical choice. All right, one more thing before I go. I think it would be a genius business idea if Anderson .Paak started selling branded tampons, and he could call them the Anderson Period Pack Period Pack. You're welcome, Andy. My name is Jack Schuyler. This has been Trapped in the Sound Hole. Thank you very much for watching the first episode. It means a lot that you did. Click like if you enjoy, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.